Welcome to another episode. Let's get right into whatever this is gonna be. This week, I was supposed to show you how I crafted this epic looking piranha plant inspired by Dungeons and Mario. Instead, join me as I try to walk you through the madness of this cursed video. Also, I demand you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, unless you're willing to take on the curse yourself. Stick till the end of the video to find out why this video is cursed. Let's start with the easiest step, the head. The head is basically made up of 3 half shells. These are walnuts in case you didn't know. For most of the sculpting on this project, you're more than welcome to use air dry clay. I myself use cold porcelain. You can roll yourself some teeth and glue them before you actually end up gluing the walnuts together. It's just a way to make things easier for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I made the flower petals from cold porcelain as well, which I also use for the main body. I made sure to use aluminum as the core, and then texture the cold porcelain with some cutting tools. Nothing fancy. I like to take the time now to talk about how cursed this video was. When I first started it, I used air dry clay to glue the shells together. I also used green stuff for the teeth and for the tongue, but that's not relevant right now. This was before the discovery of the cold porcelain. But the clay cracked. This was only the start of many failures to come. That's when I decided to give this a little break. I was just striking out left and right. I was searching for a sculpting medium that was right for me, but I wasn't finding anything that worked for me. Even the old air dry clay I used to swear by is no longer made the same. I've had bad experiences with it lately, and I basically just left air dry clay behind me for now. It was around this time when I was working on that collab with Wylock. It was during that project that some of my patrons convinced me to try cold porcelain. I mean, making the cold porcelain itself was a process, but when I finally got started on working with the material, I loved it, until I had to wait for it to dry. It took about 24 hours to fully harden, but once it did, I fell back in love with it. I was surprised at how strong the material was. I also really liked that it held most of the detail. That is one of my biggest pluses about the material. During one of these periods where I had to wait for the centipede to dry, I figured I'd start making bits and pieces for my plant, but this time I would use cold porcelain. The difference was like night and day. It motivated me to continue on. I had the smaller piranha plant heads made with that old air dry clay, but they didn't crack, so I figured I'd put them to use. I had to pin them to the body first. Let me just say right now that I'm not applying much pressure to the drill. I would suggest that when you do craft these pieces, you make sure that it has a hole before it dries. You don't have to put yourself in dangerous situations like I do. And no, I did not drill my finger. That's not why this project was cursed. I haven't actually ever hurt myself during the hobby, with the exception of maybe like hot glue incidents. I'll get to the curse soon. I started putting more details on that PD plant. Vines and stuff, you know, because it's a plant. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to start painting it when, out of nowhere, I dropped it. The area with the air dry clay had broken. 2 petals also broken. Coop broke as hell. I was about to lose it. But luckily I had Jen and Coop slap me back into it, along with my patrons. I needed to step away again. Keep in mind that at this time, I was also working on a centipede for my man's Wylock. I had way too many clips of past videos and I wanted to organize myself. So I made room by erasing some old clips of past videos. I decided to finish the centipede project and just concentrate on one thing at a time. I was able to get my poop together and bang out what I think, or I consider, one of my favorite videos of all time, or so far. One of those sentence structures is right. I was ready to tackle my next project, or in my case, unfinished project. I started painting my piranha plant. It was all coming together again. I was so happy to see this thing come to life. It was bringing back memories of when I was a kid. When I was a little poop head, back in the day, Super Mario was my introduction to video games. Think about what it was like to grow up on a farm, little kid, stupid, might I add, and one day, I walk into the living room and find my brother playing a game on TV. Whoa, my brother's a freaking wizard, I thought. I was mesmerized by the music, the imagery, and by the colors. But at the same time, I couldn't stop asking questions. I was annoying. "What's that?" I would ask. And my brother would always respond very politely. "Oh, that's Mario." "What is that?" "That's a block." "What is that?" "That's a Goomba." "Whoa, what is that?" "That's a piranha plant." I love that games were so pixelated back then. It made it easy for my mind to make jumps in imagination that I wouldn't normally take. I remember working and going to school and daydreaming, imagining these things and what they would look like in our world. So I started drawing them. When things weren't going wrong during this project, I would think about these memories. These small, dumb, childish moments make up who I am. My favorite part about this hobby is that it gives me an excuse to revisit those days. I wanted to make this thing look like what I imagined it looked like, and not what it actually looked like. You know what I'm saying? As I look back, I notice that the projects that I'm most satisfied with are the projects that make my adult mind travel back in time, look into my mind as it was when I was a little kid, and warp that imagination into the present. Better yet, manifest that into a physical miniature, like holding a memory in your hands. "Franky, if that video was so cursed, why do you sound so happy?" Well, as I sat down to edit, I realized that I didn't have much footage of the crafting process. That's weird. That's when a flag went up in my head. Back to a simpler time, a few days earlier. Not so simple. When I made room for the new clips, I ended up actually erasing some of the new ones as well. Seemed like this video did not want to be made. I only felt defeated for a few seconds, but I got over it real fast. I was still extremely happy with the project. I just had to figure out the next best thing. How can I bring this experience to you? How can I teach you to craft this? How can I make it enjoyable if I'm missing pieces? No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. Instead of concentrating on how I made this monster, why not concentrate on how making this monster made me feel? It was through these mistakes that I actually ended up finding something about myself. I really enjoy talking to my audience about how the projects make me feel, or what's going through my head while I'm making it. I don't so much care about telling you to put piece A with piece B using a specific type of glue or something. I like making things. I really like making things. And I know a lot of people out there like making things. I don't aim for perfection. I just aim for satisfaction. And I am extremely happy with this video, despite it not being perfect, because I am extremely satisfied by what I've learned through the process. And I think that that's something I aim to hit every single time I make a video from now on. And I hope that you guys also enjoyed the video format, because I'm thinking of doing more things like this. It's satisfying. And despite all the setbacks, I don't know, I feel good. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like always, huge special thanks to my patrons. They really are the best. Good times. Good times. But I gotta go. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!